Yeah, not much going on here.
Less civilians also means less distraction. Since you're here now, I can tell you the details of your contract. We want you to acquire a brain chip. We have information that it is located somewhere here in New Taipei. Smuggling some weapons into the area wasn't easy. Oxygenetic got their eyes everywhere. We can't tell you the exact location of your contact, but he's close. Time for you to sniff around a bit.
At home they call me the Bloodhound for a reason. Let me...
That is such a cheesy line, god damn it. Welcome everyone to Taipei Contract, developed by DK Productions, aka Duchenkyuk. Now this is a prototype version, so a lot of it is still a bit janky, but generally this is my favorite Game Guru project of all time. Look how cool it looks.
Strange, isn't it? Oxygenetic claims to be humanity's savior, but they also have the largest building here. Where there is a lot of power, there is also a lot of money. And lots of money also means high corruption. Well, at some point people will wake up. Someday they'll know what I know.
There are new weapons in the game? Huh, that's a picture of my ex. Well, there are new weapons in the game, but they are interesting, they're decently animated, but they're just too sci-fi for this game. Not sure where they are from, too. I like the custom designs better.
Alright, let's see what you have.
It's a high-powered assault rifle. Fully automatic, armor-piercing rounds. Perfect killing machine. Cost me a pretty penny to get it here.
That's the stuff. I just love the early 2000s aesthetic of this type of weapon design. Alrighty then. There's an entire modeled subway in this area, and this must have been a nightmare to make, because you can't just tunnel down in Game Guru. You usually start off a flat terrain plane. That means the city itself must be modeled high above these areas, which is really interesting. This might be relatively easy to do in an engine that had CSG editing, but Game Guru only works with models and with a top-down perspective. Only one viewport. There was probably supposed to be something here, but it's not. As I was saying, only one viewport, so making this kind of underground levels with a city on top is incredibly... must have been an absolute pain in the ass. Frame rate is good too, by the way.
Warning. Unauthorized personnel detected. A police unit has been dispatched.
This looks really cool with the reshade on.
The whole police department is confusing me. I hope I find some more ammo first. Got the data pad.
Neat. The reflections are added via a reshade post-processing effect, but it looks relatively cool. There are a few artifacts here and there, but generally speaking it's really good looking. Yeah, AI and combat isn't great. It's a Game Guru game after all. And there are way too many spawned at once. So let's take him out. You also have an unfortunate tendency to give the enemies the upper hand in your combat encounters. It should be the other way around, especially with this AI. But this time I have better weapons. Yeah. Animations are smooth. The highlight of this level is clearly the animated background. Okay, fuck the shotgun. Custom truck is cool too. These weapons are more functional and better integrated, but the designs by... Oh wow, I forgot his name. Xandy. Designs by Xandy are way better. They suit the project better as well. This pistol with the rounded butt here, it looks kinda ugly, to be honest. Just love all the flying cars and just how animated everything is. It's really a dense city in Game Guru. That's an achievement. Exploration is here too.
There, an ammo stash, of course, made by Harbinger, the biggest weapon manufacturing company of the world. But a bullet made by Harbinger will never miss its target.
What does that mean, a bullet made by Harbinger never misses its target? Do they lock onto targets or what? Maybe it's because they call him the Bloodhound for a reason. Ah, let's be real, I love cheese like that. Nothing as bad as a first-person shooter that takes itself completely serious. Look at the airship. Train going by, flying cars. That's stuff you don't see in any other Game Guru game, including mine, by the way.
Warning. Unauthorized personnel detected. A police unit has been dispatched.
These screens are displaying DNA codings, but nobody knows that, so they just seem to be awesome sci-fi panels with a lot of detail.
Means that you can basically live forever for the right amount of money, of course. Humanity has been playing God way too often. We gotta stop this.
Well, if that's the case, maybe I will actually finish the job.
I love that he implies that otherwise he would not complete the job. But yeah, we're looking for the immortality gimmick. May not be the best plot, but I'll take it. Sometimes I have cool little things like the gun sliding down the staircase. Almost like in a real current gen game. Although I feel like they are doing physics a lot less in modern games. Yep, I think I've showcased this level a lot. Let's get going. Am I recording? Yes, I am. Wenshei Park. Wenshei, I heard that before. Wasn't that the protagonist of Sleeping Dogs? Ah, doesn't matter. Here we are at Wenshei Park, Industrial Park, I presume. And that's my favorite map so far. Custom enemies. I understand why you have this in Dark Skies, because it's more survival oriented, but for an action game like this I would have the medkits work immediately. That's my personal opinion. I mean, this is of course a more complex feature, but it's kind of annoying. The reflection stuff is really cool. Especially with the light sources. Also, look at this behemoth of an industrial area. Look at this and think of your average Game Guru game that you would find on Steam and compare it to this. We really need some kind of rule or law that people who are older than 18 and upload asset flips or really complete delusional garbage on Steam should get publicly flogged or something. Oh boy. There will be something here later. Because the indie game market on Steam is basically the same as the... I'm not supposed to go here, I know. It's basically the same as it is for the AAA market by now, in that the good games will be on top and there will just be a sea of garbage underneath where there may be good games out there, but you're just not motivated to look for them anymore, given all the Unreal Engine 5 and Unreal Engine 4 asset flips floating there. Ah, well, I'm rambling on. That wasn't the most coherent argument, but you probably get what I'm trying to say. Oh, and since this is the internet, I have to mention that me saying that people should be actually heard for making bad video games was, of course, a joke. I don't think there is a smuggler yet or any gameplay, it's just a map. It is unfortunate, but it is a prototype. This rifle looks a lot like the rifle that Xandy made for you. I love this warehouse, it looks like it's rendered in a real engine. You almost don't notice the missing shadows due to all the reflections. Playing this a bit with the sound on so I can hear the music and everything. I hope that it's not going to be distorted in the final version when I add the voice to the video. But yeah, brilliant map. Let's take a look at the giant garbage pit. Just a great idea, by the way. Also a good way to avoid the Game Guru water and save a few frames. I'm looking forward to when the gameplay is actually added to the game, you know. I know that Dark Skies is the main project by the developer, but I like this one better. Oh, that pad has no script yet. Yes, given that the second level had no gameplay, there was also no win zone, so I had to load the third level manually. And it looks fucking fantastic. Look at this. I think this is the best looking Game Guru game so far. Even if NPCs loitering about without the frame rate tanking. Some disco music, a lady with a bad haircut. I didn't bring weapons, so I'm going to be pretty fucked later on. Because the pistol is rather useless, to be honest. Still love the snappy early 2000s animations, but... me. Bullet sponges. There is a melee button, but it doesn't work. Okay, let's try this again. Pretty sure that DK Productions has the best handle on Game Guru's dynamic lighting system. Got driving without a license plate. I know I should quit and get some guns, but I'm stubborn. See? Got him. Buildings are interesting too. I know that a few of my regular viewers are mappers in other engines, and they probably look at this and think, yeah, it's cool, but I could do that too. Yeah, you probably could. A lot of you are very talented, but doing this in Game Guru is such a pain in the ass that while I'm pretty sure most of you could do it, I'm also pretty sure most of you would not have the patience and grit to do it. I mean, I wouldn't. Love the custom ladies there too. Oh, damn it, now I was talking over this section where I wanted to make a stupid joke. I wanted to look at the woman and say, hey ladies, want me to show you some tactical gear? Hilarious, isn't it? And I missed my cue. Ah, well. Seafood market. I think I'm going to get some takeout later. Let's go down here. These guys look like they have a tough job. Oh, there's a drone. Ah, go away. Come on. I think I can destroy it, at least not with this weapon. Ah, fuck, leave me alone. Alright, this is not supposed to happen, I'm pretty sure. Fucking drone. But yeah, it's the future. The Ukraine war is also heavy drone Drone laden. Have you seen a clip in China where they had a drone fly around residential buildings broadcasting that they should stay at home? That was peak 21st century right there. There are going to be half a dozen enemies here, and all I have is my pea shooter. I feel that my commentary track isn't particularly useful this time, but I'm rather tired. And I've been pretty vocal about how much I like this game before, so all has been said. Yeah, we're gonna try this again, but this time with the proper equipment. I actually wanted to end the video here and do a second recording for this, but there's not a lot of content, so it would have been just a 10-minute video. So I added everything onto this one. I haven't been in a nightclub since forever. Never really liked them. Train going by is cool. Oh yes, I'm also showcasing the new weapons like Sandy, which fit the game much better than the other ones, to be honest. Like this one. Oh, they actually... Well, when Shade Park was in the other direction, I think. But that doesn't matter. There are road signs, which is always a nice detail. Let's check out the map some more and see if I can now take down the damn drone. Drone isn't here. Probably didn't trigger it. The animations are so interesting. There are interesting details in it, but then there are entire chunks just seemingly missing. But I do like the early 2000s clear sci-fi look. I think that some older games had better art direction than most newer ones. Just because the flock of artists back then was a little bit more talented, as it wasn't a career where you could go to university and then end up getting a job at Ubisoft or something. It was all pretty niche at the time, and the people who got into game design were usually trailblazers technically, and also, let's try to kill the drone, but also very passionate. It's just a lot going wrong in gaming, given that it's now this behemoth multi-million-dollar industry. I guess a lot of older science fiction games had their own look to them, whereas the majority of more modern releases looks similar. Yeah, the combat is still the weakest link in the game. I would really make a couple experiments and not just spawn a dozen guys behind a truck on an open field. That's not a good solution for this. I think I can't end this level too, because there are, yeah. This was from a previous map. Just in case, let's look around where there could be a smuggler. If this happens to have the same quest. If I were a smuggler, I would be... No one there. It's that lady again. I'm not going to find anything, I know it. Oh look, I found something. Right, I think I showed the level of enough. Let's check out the last level. And here we... locked him in his walking cycle forever. A fate truly worse than death. Worse. Wow, my English is great today. And here we have the desert map from Cyberpunk. I mean, it's interesting that you have this big open area in Game Guru and it runs relatively decent with 120 FPS right now. I'm also looking in the abyss. But I don't know what kind of gameplay you want to add here. Because just open field combat in Game Guru is awful and I wouldn't suggest to do that. Maybe have a sequence of vehicles planned. The city also didn't feel like it was in the desert earlier. More like I was down in Asia, blended with some very German influences. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a good idea. But it's well made. The background skybox is cool. So are the new guns, even though they kinda don't work. Still dope. Oh. Power line ended, so I'm not supposed to be here. Too bad there are these other power lines which have a little sci-fi update, which is cool. Also, this skybox looks like a cow skin. You know, like a cow pelt you would find in a whiskey bar or something. No, I will admit, not a fan of this map project so far. I don't think that should... Well, it's your game. You probably have an idea for this, but... Well, there's going to be a bit more of this desert, and then it just stops, because, as I said, this is a prototype version, so I'm gonna end my comment.